emphasize on the first words of John chapter 14. And there is a similarity there between Jesus coming and the rapture, and Jesus coming for his saints. Okay, and we're going to look at the Jewish wedding and the rapture of the church. So in ancient Hebrew culture, okay, marriage was a beautiful and meaningful ceremony that symbolized the union between a man and a woman. This ancient tradition parallels the relationship between Jesus, the church, and the rapture. So we're going to go through a little explanation of what happens at a Jewish wedding, and you'll see for yourself. Jesus is using this metaphor to explain the rapture. We are the bride of Christ, and just putting all the pieces together, it makes sense. So at a Jewish wedding, the groom leaves his father's house. Luke 1 35 and John 1:14. So the groom would leave his father's house to find a bride, symbolizing Jesus leaving heaven to come to earth. And the angel answered and said unto her, the Holy Ghost shall come upon thee, and the power of the highest shall overshadow thee. So this happened when Jesus first came as an infant in the womb of Mary, and he comes and he leaves his father's house in Luke 1:35. Okay, so later we know the price is paid. The groom or his father would pay a price for the bride, symbolizing Jesus' sacrifice for the church. Okay, so in 1 Corinthians 6:19 it says here, for ye are bought with a price, therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Okay, so there is a similarity between in a wedding, there is a price to be paid, but for us also, Jesus paid our price. So number 3, the marriage covenant. Okay, and that's a betrothal in Jewish language there. In Hebrew, 2 Corinthians 11:12, a marriage covenant was created between the groom and bride, symbolizing the new covenant between Jesus and the church. For it says here, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. This covenant was sealed with a cup of wine, just what took place at the Last Supper. This cup is the new covenant in my blood. And we went through that in John chapter 13 when we brought in other verses from Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Okay. The groom returns to his father's house. Okay, in a Jewish wedding, and this is what we feel happens at John 14:2 and 3, the groom would return to his father's house to prepare a place for his bride, usually an addition onto his father's house. Okay, so keep in mind this word father's house, we'll look into that as well, symbolizing Jesus' ascension to heaven to prepare a place for the church. And that's what is going on right now. Jesus is preparing a place for his church right now, just as would happen in a Jewish wedding. The groom could not return on his own schedule. Only the father decided when the house was ready, which is why no one knew the day or the hour of the groom's return. This explains why Jesus said even he did not know the timing. Only the Father did. I go to prepare a place for you, that where I am, there ye may be also. John 14:2 and 3. So 3 more little steps here. The bride's preparation, okay? And we look at Ephesians 5:25 to 27 there. The bride would prepare herself for the wedding, often with the help of her friends and family. Similarly, the church is called to prepare herself to the bridegroom's return. that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that it should be holy and without blemish. Okay, so let's move on. The groom's arrival, 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17. When the groom's preparations were complete, he would come suddenly for his bride, often at midnight with a shout and the sound of a shofar or a trumpet. The bride was taken away to be with him. This parallels the rapture, where Jesus will return for his bride, the church. Paul later describes the same imagery when he speaks of the Lord descending with a shout and the trumpet of God, and the bride being caught up to meet him. Okay, the last little similarity is the wedding feast, Revelation 19:7-9. Okay, after the groom and bride were united, they would celebrate with a grand feast, often lasting for days. Similarly, we see in Revelation, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. Revelation 19:7-9. So all these seven little examples are parallels to the Jewish wedding and the rapture of the church. So I hope